Hey, everybody, and welcome to Key Conversations for Leaders. I'm your host, John Ryan, and today we have a very special guest, Dr. Ruth Gotian. Ruth Gotian is known as a mentor's mentor. She is a contributor for both Forbes and Psychology Today. She has spent decades researching the most successful people of our generation in order to understand what they do when the world isn't watching, that it ultimately has put them in that elite class. She's uncovered their habits and practices, and I'm so excited that you're here today to share these secrets with us. Thank you for being here, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited.
Awesome, me too. I've been looking forward since we connected. So, Dr. Ruth, or whatever you prefer to be
There's only
referred.
one Dr. Ruth.
Oh, I know.
There's only one Dr. Ruth. And I just want to tell you that we have a lot in common. And I've met her and we've discussed this. We are both Dr. Ruth. We both got our doctorate from the same institution. We both got it at around the same age, and we're both bilingual in the same languages, the same two languages, but only one of us is a trained sniper. So your audience members can Google that.
Okay,
See
I
which
will
one.
leave that as a mystery for them to ferret out. Thank you for clarifying that. We'll go with Ruth for now, I think, as well, because I'm
Okay.
not sure who the sniper is, and I don't want to get in trouble. So I know that you've been really for the last decade, if not more, been looking at identifying the traits and behaviors of successful people. What is it that you look for, and what have you found?
So I have really been looking into these high achievers because I've worked around them for decades. And there really are some things that stand out, which is why I decided to really take a deep dive and look into it. And I have looked at successful physician scientists, Nobel laureates, people like Tony Fauci, who everyone's hearing about now, former surgeon generals, astronauts, Olympic athletes, that whole crew. And they really have four major things that they all do. Now, the key is you have to do all of them simultaneously. So it's very obvious they're all intrinsically motivated. They have found their passion, they have found their purpose, and they go for it. This is what they're all about. They would do it for free if they could. And that's really the most important part, right? Because they always say, when you find your passion, you're never working a day in your life. They are so curious about it. It's not about the Nobel. It's not about the award. It's not about the big salary. It's not about going into space. It's not about the Olympic medal. They are so passionate about it, and it comes through when you talk to them. So that's first, right? If you're doing it for a diploma, a degree, an award, you're going to burn out or fail out. So you have to find what you're passionate about and be intrinsically motivated for it. You also have to have this super, super, super high level of perseverance, which means if you fall in a race, if your experiments don't work, if there is a pandemic, if your funding doesn't come through, if your book deal doesn't come through, whatever it is, they realize that those bumps in the road are going to be there no matter what. But there is something on the other side of that. So they have this determination to get through it, over it, around it, under it. They get to the other side no matter what, right? They are all about actually getting to the other side, seeing this as a learning experience. So that's the high level of perseverance. The other is they learn in informal means. So it's all about, they are absorbing information at this rapid pace constantly. And everyone does it differently based on their learning style. So it could be they're reading or they're listening to podcasts, but they're also talking to people. They're absorbing information from people. And it's not about sitting in a classroom. Adults don't usually sit in classrooms. It's those informal conversations in the coffee break room, around the water cooler, at the gate, at the airport, when we eventually can get back to that. They are having those conversations all the time. And that's what's so important. They will get that information from people who are senior to them, junior to them, and at their level. They are not afraid to get more data, more intel. And then finally, they remember their roots, they remember their core, and they get back to that core every single day. So people like the physician scientists, they are still designing and executing their own experiments very often. They have a whole team, but they are embedded in that process. The athletes, they're still doing the drills that you would see in a junior high gym. right? The same skills, because those are the basics, those are the core. So if you have those four things, being intrinsically motivated, a really super high level of perseverance, the learning through informal means, and getting back to the basics, obviously there's layers to each one, but those four are the top four, the awesome foursome, if you can do that.
The